The 2023 dove season is right around the corner, less than a month away. But if you're wondering what you need to take into the field to have a successful hunt, I'm going to cover that in this video. I'm going to go over some of the things that I take on my trips that accompany me on my camping and in the field. So stick around, hang tight, and let's get you set up for the upcoming season. So you're going to need a shotgun. Like this one, for example. This is a 12 gauge pump action shotgun. It doesn't matter what kind. 12 gauge, 20 gauge are both probably the most common. Probably has the cheapest ammunition prices. It doesn't matter if it's pump, semi-auto, brake action. Pretty much just bring what you have. That's going to be the cheapest route. The two most effective chokes you're going to want to use, or that are most commonly used, are improved cylinder and modified. Improved cylinder being better for something up close. It's going to give you a wider pattern. Modified choke, still a pretty wide pattern, but it's a little bit tighter. It's going to get you out there a little bit further. I have no problem shooting an improved cylinder and shooting birds down, knocking birds down at 40 yards, 45 yards. So that's probably the farthest I'm going to take shots at dove. As far as ammunition goes, you're going to want to check with your state just to make sure. In my state of California, for example, nothing can be shot with lead anywhere in California. What I use is steel for dove, and I go pretty cheap. I don't have any problems shooting the Winchester, the high velocity, super steel. I don't have any problems. I know a lot of people talk about issues with these shells. My gun cycles these things great. So I go for cheap, and these are cheap is like 13 bucks a box now. So these are 2 3/4 inch. These are 12 gauge. I have 1 ounce number 7s. I shoot 7s and 7.5s in steel. You don't really see too many 8s in steel. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever seen number 8 steel. So number 7s, 7.5s are going to be fine. A lot of people like to shoot 6s. They think for the ballistics, because it's steel, that they need 6s. Maybe 6s are going to help you a little bit more on some of the larger birds, like the Eurasian collar dove. But personally, 1 ounce number 7, ounce and 1/8 of number 7, I'm knocking them down with an improved cylinder. So I think if you're on, you're on. If you're not on, it doesn't matter what you use. So you're going to want to look for something in somewhere between 1,200 and 1,400 feet per second is what's generally out there for the general public in masses. These 1 ounce number 7s are 1,325 feet per second. These 1 1/8 ounce number 7s are 1,375 feet per second. I have no problem shooting to 1,200 feet per second. As long as if you're shooting a semi-auto, as long as your gun can cycle the round, you're not going to really tell that much of a difference between 1,200 feet per second and 1,400 feet per second. 1,200 to 1,400 feet per second is usually the sweet spot. So what do you wear? I see a lot of people wearing white t-shirts, regular clothing, blue jeans, things of that nature, kind of ignoring the whole camouflage idea or concept. I don't understand that. My philosophy is if I can blend in more and keep from being seen, I'm going to do so. Dove have very good eyesight, and they will flare off you, especially after the first weekend of hunting when they're getting a little gun shy. So this is exactly what I wear. I wear khaki shorts. I wear a short sleeve camouflage t-shirt, something breathable. I hunt in the desert where it's regularly 110 plus, up to 120 degrees, and it's super hot. So you're going to want to wear something. That's why I wear shorts. Some places, some areas, you can get away with jeans or camouflage pants. Again, I wear camo though. It's just the way I like to do it. Now I use a game belt like this. It's got 2 pockets in the front. It's got a game bag in the back that's lined like a blood-proof lining. So I can put shells in the front, put my birds in the back, good to go. It's around my waist and I'm not wearing an extra layer. You're gonna be scrambling for shade. A lot of times I'll wear something like this, like a lifeguard hat. The problem with these can be sometimes the brim is pretty big and it can kind of get in your way. I'm used to it, but sometimes I like to go a little smaller, and I'll go with a boonie style hat, and sometimes I'll use a baseball hat. Again, blend in with the environment and you're gonna do well. Another thing you're gonna want, and what I use, is you're gonna need something to sit on. What I use is a bucket, 5-gallon bucket that I paint myself. So I use styrofoam padding from a mattress pad, basically, cut it to the top of this seat, and then took an old camouflage t-shirt, folded it underneath. This is ultra cheap, and that's how I am, but it works really well. It's a lot thicker than the ones you're gonna get in the stores. My butt hurts when I'm sitting on the ones that you can get in the store. So this is really comfortable. I can take this bucket, and I've got all my essentials in here. I've got binoculars, I've got a saw, I've got bug spray. You gotta have bug spray. I don't use a Thermacell. I'm thinking about trying that out. Let me know if you use a Thermacell and you live in Southern California and you shoot down where I shoot in the desert. How well does that work? I want to know, because I've never used one. Anyway, if nothing else, a bug spray. You're going to need bug spray. I have a shovel, and of course, the most important of all is the toilet paper and wipes. So if you're getting any value out of this video so far, let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I'd be most appreciative. It really helps out. So here's another thing. This is not necessary. It's not critical, but I think the value you get out of even just a cheap set of clip-on decoys is going to pay in dividends. What I bring is I've got, at the moment, I have one Mojo with dead batteries, which will be changed out soon. The birds see from such a long distance, they see this flicker of the wings. If you can get your hands on a Mojo spinning wing dove like this, that is a great addition. You'll be surprised at how they draw birds in from a distance. If you can just get even just some clip-on birds, clip-on decoys, you can put these around surrounding bushes and branches that are really visible. These are pretty cheap. I think I got a set of 2 for, I don't know, $10 or $15 maybe at the most. But anyway, you can find these anywhere. You can pretty much get these anywhere too, online. You can go, my buddy actually gave me this one. Thank you, Paul. Actually, he probably wants it back. But anyway, it's on loan, I think. But it works great. So this year, a new addition to my decoy spread is I've got some Mojo Dove flickers. This one sits on the ground like this. You place it on the ground and this spins around. And it creates that flicker look. Like it is supposed to mimic birds maybe landing on the ground, feeding, just kind of milling about on the ground. So pack of 4. I'm really excited to give those a shot this year. Hopefully not a real shot. I don't want to shoot these. I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to try them out. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try them out. So really excited to see how this works. This in conjunction with the spinning wing, maybe some clip-ons too. I don't overdo my decoys. I think this is probably going to be it. I don't like to have a ton of decoys. You don't need a bunch. If you're where the birds are and you've got a couple, especially something that's motion like the spinning wing or these, they're really effective at bringing the birds in. So again, not necessary, they're not critical, but the value you get out of these, if you were to buy just a few decoys, will pay dividends, and I believe it's well worth it. Next thing you're going to want to make sure you have is an ice chest or a cooler. If you're not going to be camping, if you're not going to be there very long, if it's just a day trip, you know, maybe you don't have to have a cooler. It'd be nice. And I'm sure you'd appreciate a cold drink. I have, and I'll put this up here, a smaller cooler, an old Playmate style cooler that I use to take with me out into the field. I will drive to my destination or walk, depending on how far it is. I've got a few different spots that I shoot. I'm usually camped out. In camp, I have a very large cooler like this that I use for base camp, and I keep you know, all the food, because I'm usually down for 5 days or so during the brutalness of the desert. So that's got the bulk of my food, drinks that need to be chilled, and then I take that smaller cooler and I bring that and throw a little bit of ice and some waters or soda or something like that. Water's the best. Throw those in there, and I take them out into the field with me. And I've, as you can see, I painted it camouflage again to blend in. Whether you have an ice chest or not, you want to make sure you have plenty of water, especially where I hunt, where it is so hot that, and starting very first thing in the morning, the lows are about 90 degrees. It gets down to about 90 overnight. So that's about as low as it gets. And then up to, like I said, 110, 115, I've felt 118. And this year, the deserts have hit 120 degrees. So this year is going to be, hopefully, it'll be tolerable. We're going to find out. Another thing you're going to want is, especially if you're staying for more than one day, but even if you're just going out for the day, you want, along with that hat that you're going to wear, you need sunscreen. Again, especially where I'm at, the heat index or the UV index is absolutely through the roof. So, good sunscreen, maybe a broad spectrum, something that's waterproof, that's not going to get washed off with all the sweat, because you do sweat, that's for sure. Again, bug spray is a must. Got to have bug spray. That goes in my bucket, and it stays in my bucket. When I'm in camp, I'll spray myself, goes back in my bucket. When I wake up in the morning and I take my stuff to my camping spot, I've got the spray there. Mosquitoes are, they're pretty hungry down there. I hunt in an agricultural area where there's a lot of irrigation. So they flood these fields and they stay flooded with all this water. And down there in the heat with all that water, mosquitoes are crazy. So really humid, lots of mosquitoes, hot, sweaty. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? I love it. Again, I haven't used the Thermacell. Let me know if you use the Thermacell and how effective it is. If you want me to do a separate video on my camping aspect of my hunting, let me know in the comments below. I can do a separate video. I can do a deep dive into that as well. I hope this has helped someone out there who may be interested in getting into dove hunting, or somebody who used to dove hunt and hasn't in a long time. Somebody's getting back into it. This isn't a comprehensive list, but this should help you get out there and have some success chasing those little gray rockets around this special time of year. One of my favorite times of year. Just remember, if you're on public land, obey the laws, pick up your trash, leave no trace behind. That is very important. We want to keep our lands open to recreation. If you're not sure, maybe it's private property, get permission from the landowner. But whatever you do, get out there this fall, have some fun, be safe. Remember, firearm safety is first and foremost. If you're not safe with the firearm, then this all could go downhill really fast. So be safe with your firearms. Teach your kids proper firearms etiquette. show them how to be safe, and most of all, have fun doing it. This is so much fun. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. I want as much feedback as possible. It really does help my channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one, South 37.